What is going on, you guys? Alex Chasen back here with a brand new video. Hopefully you're having a great day, afternoon, or night, wherever you guys are in this world. And the NBA is back. It is in full swing. Officially, all 30 teams have played at least one game. Some have even played 2 games. It's in full swing. Every single day until the finals, you can almost guarantee at least one single game a night, except for some holidays. I know they have some days off, but you know what I mean. The NBA is back. In today's video, I want to talk about the Chicago Bulls and why out of all 30 teams do I want to pick and choose to talk about the Chicago Bulls. And it's because they need to blow it up. Yes, they are 1-1, 1 win, 1 loss, 50-50, only 2 games in, 80 more to go. A long road ahead for the Chicago Bulls. But I believe and really think they should blow it up, and here's why. Yes, they won last night off a crazy Alex Caruso 3 in overtime.
Final seconds, LaVine can tie it. Zach LaVine, Caruso for the lead.
Turn up the AC. It's cold in here.
Woo!
But if you watch that entire game, you know the Chicago Bulls are in trouble. And their record of 1-1 or whatever it may be after a week of the season means absolutely nothing, because if you watch that game, and I wrote it down, with about 2:50 left in the first half, the Bulls are up 42-23. The game's in their hand. The rest of the game, they just got to make shots, play defense, and just keep the Raptors at an arm's reach away. That's all you got to do. You're 2 minutes away from getting into halftime. Prepare to how to keep the Raptors at an arm's reach away and don't let them come back. Make your shots, play your defense, and just keep them at bay, the Toronto Raptors. But what did the Bulls do? They did the complete opposite. The Bulls went down on a 23-0 run in total. The Raptors were just killing the Chicago Bulls defensively. Mismatches with OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam. They were switching on to Kobe White, who could do absolutely nothing on those 3 guys. It was embarrassing. If I was a Bulls fan, I would be embarrassed on that middle game performance. The entire game, you won, cool, but that game should have been over by the end of the fourth quarter. That game did not need overtime to win that game. And then you had to win it with about 2 seconds left on a game-winning 3. That shouldn't have happened, and that's a sign things are wrong, because not only did this all go wrong, and I'll continue. Coming out of the half, the Bulls did not score until around 7:40-ish in the third quarter. That's what? How do you not do that? So the Raptors went on a total of a 23-0 run, and yes, the Raptors defense was good, but the real reason why the Bulls need to just decide to just blow this up. And am I overreacting 2 games in? Sure, maybe I can call this an overreaction to the Bulls after 2 games. But I've been preaching this since we learned Lonzo Ball was out for the entire season. They made no moves to create a real point guard. They have Kobe White, Javon Carter, Ayo Dosunmu, Alex Caruso. Neither of those are answers for a true starting point guard. None of them have proved to be that. Alex Caruso, fantastic defender, made a clutch shot yesterday. But at the end of the day, he is a bench asset. Or if you want to start him, sure, but he's not your starting point guard. He would be better 2 guard, but that's where Zach LaVine falls in to play. And Zach LaVine, boy, oh boy, oh boy, has Zach LaVine been terrible in 2 games into the season. Yes, I am overreacting. He'll pick up his pace, I'm sure of it, but it's just a sign of what needs to happen in Chicago. In the 2 games so far this season, Zach LaVine is shooting 23% from the field, 13% from 3. In the first game, he had 16 points. Yesterday, he had 8 points, 0 for 6 from 3, 3 for 14 from the field. He is playing atrocious. Now, in the first game, he only played 25 minutes. They were getting their doors blown off by the Oklahoma City Thunder. They lost by 20 points, 124-104. Last night, of course, they won 104-103. Zach LaVine played 38 minutes into overtime, of course, as well. And the man couldn't manage more than 8 points on terrible efficiency. And his 1 assist came to Alex Caruso on the game-winning bucket. So not only is Zach LaVine not making his shots, he is not producing in any other facet of the game. Usually true superstars, true stars, their shots not falling. That's okay. That's completely normal. You're all human. I don't expect you to be amazing all the time and make your buckets. 2 games in, sure, am I overreacting to terrible, terrible shooting percentages? Sure, but it all leads to the point that they're in trouble. Zach LaVine couldn't even manage to get more than one assist, and his one assist came in overtime on Alex Caruso's game-winning bucket because he drove, the layup wasn't there, and he kicked it out to Caruso, who was standing in the corner, who splashed the three. That's an issue. The issue is not your percentages. It's bad. It's a problem, but it's not the major issue. It's the issue is that you can't affect the game in any other area. Your defense, you couldn't even get one steal. You only had 5 rebounds with 1 assist. That's the problem, with 3 turnovers on top of that. First game of the season, you had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 turnovers with 16 points. Again, terrible efficiency from the field. You have to affect the game in other ways if you really want to be called a star, an all-star, a superstar in this game. And Zach LaVine, right now, 2 games in, is not doing that. But it all circles back to the original issue. Lonzo Ball is out for this entire season, and he may never play basketball ever again, and they never answered that question coming into this season. They haven't done it, and I don't think they plan on doing it. So this is what the Bulls need to do, in my opinion. I said it before, and I'll say it again. You got to make trades. You got to make moves. You got to call it. Maybe give it a little bit, see what happens, see if you can make a trade to get someone better in there. But at the end of the day, Zach LaVine, you had his market this summer. There were rumors that the Knicks, other teams were looking at Zach LaVine. The market was there. But if he keeps playing like this and he cannot even impact the game in other areas, his $40 million that goes to $43 million next year, $45 million the year after that, and then $48 million the year after that in 26, 27, yeah, no one's going to want that contract. So you better figure it out now with Zach LaVine, or you better hope there's a market for him. DeMar DeRozan on an expiring deal. I'd try to get something for him because most likely he's going to walk at the end of this season. Why would he want to be in this situation? Because it's not his fault. DeMar DeRozan has been balling. In just 2 games, yes, I'm overreacting. But yes, DeMar DeRozan, he is being DeMar DeRozan. He is doing his job. But Zach LaVine, that's an issue. And again, I'm overreacting. 2 games. But it's the fact that he cannot help the game in any other area. He's not scoring. He can't make shots. 1 assist on the night? Come on, man. That's disgusting. That's terrible. It's atrocious. And I knew this was going to be a problem for the Chicago Bulls. They never answered the question of Lonzo Ball being out this entire season. And don't tell me, oh, the news came out like a month ago. They knew this. Maybe they didn't know it was going to be all season, but they knew it was going to be most of the season. They knew it was going to be a very long time. They knew his knee wasn't right, and they never answered the problem. That's an issue. And the Bulls, in my opinion, need to be like, well, we have no true point guard. Zach LaVine doesn't look like the star he should be. DeMar DeRozan deserves to be on a better team. Let's make moves while we can do it. While these guys have value, get something back. Because you have this trio of DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and it hasn't worked out one bit since you made that Vucevic trade, that DeMar trade, getting Zach LaVine. It has not worked out. Injuries have plagued this problem. Lonzo Ball, when that 4 was all together, they were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. So it's not completely all 3 of these guys' fault, but it's the fact that the front office has not answered the overlying problem of no point guard. Zach LaVine doesn't seem to be really playing well as of right now. And DeMar DeRozan is getting older, still has some value. Vucevic doesn't look great so far this season, but again, just 2 games. I'm going to try not to overreact here. But while these guys have some value, before Vucevic and DeMar are ancient in the NBA, while LaVine is still at his peak, send them off, get value back, and reset the whole thing. So with that said, that is all I have for you guys today, and I'm sure it's not easy hitting that reset button in a front office in the NBA. It's got to be one of the hardest decisions you have to make as a general manager, as an owner, whatever your position is. It's not easy, but I think it's something that has to be done. Because if Lonzo Ball was healthy and he was with LaVine, Vucevic, and DeMar, I think I'll be making another video right now, and the video would be how amazing they're playing and how they made a super deep playoff run last year, and how this year maybe they can even make it even farther. Because that's the potential it looked like they had before Lonzo Ball went down. But that story is now broken, and it really doesn't seem like a possibility anymore. So click that reset button, and let's see what can happen. And yes, I was overreacting to LaVine and his problems coming into the year, but it's just a reminder that there is a major problem in Chicago, and it was never answered. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I'll be back very, very soon, and the NBA, it's just getting started. Like always, peace out.